Namaskar. Prayers for your and your family members' safety and health. In this video lesson, we are going to start with chapter number 15, Economic Development, class 10th, Social Science. What do we mean by economic development? Well, economic development means constant increase in national income of a country. 2. Increase in per capita income of a country. And 3. Change in lifestyle of the people or change in the living standard of people. This is called economic development. What happens here is that the national income of the nation increases, thereby increases the per capita income, and with this increased national income, the living standard of people improves. There is a change in the lifestyle of people for better. So, any country can be called developing economically is when the national income increases, thereby improving the lifestyle or the standard of life of people. Now, what do you mean by life style of people? What do you mean by living standard of people? With the increase in the national income, people get the facilities like food, clothes, education, health services, transportation services, shelter, etc. All these facilities are available in a good quality to the citizens of the country. If we look at India and if we compare the present day situation of India with that in the past, in 1947 when India got independence, we can say that there has been an economic development in India. India is developing economically. India has got better services. India has got better facilities. The living standard of Indians have increased. Now let us understand the difference between these two terms, economic progress and economic development. What is the difference between economic progress and economic development? Well, in ordinary sense, economic progress as well as economic development, both these terms show an increase in terms of economics. Increase in terms of the services available, better quality of life, health services, education, etc. But there is a lot of difference between both these. Let us understand what is the difference. Number one, let us understand the difference on the basis of development process. Economic development is qualitative, while economic progress is quantitative. Economic development is first stage, while economic progress is a stage after economic development. So the difference here is qualitative and quantitative. In one case, there is improvement in the quality, and in the second case, there is an improvement in the quantity. Number two, difference according to the changes taking place in economy. On the basis of new research in economy, increase in production is considered to be economic development. Because of research in hybrid seeds in agricultural sector, there has been many-fold increase in agricultural production. This shows economic development. On the other side, when there is increase in agricultural production, because of the increase in agricultural land, it is called economic progress. Third, in relation to developed and developing nations, difference is seen in both of them in relation to developed and developing nations also. Increase in national income of developed countries is called economic progress, while increase in national income of developing countries is called economic development. So, if we have to understand it in a different way, economic progress is something which has a limited scope, while economic development has a wider scope. Economic growth or economic progress means increase in national income, for example, or increase in the per capita income, while economic development is much more than that. It's not simply the increase in the national income, it is the development in other areas like better education, better health facilities, better roads, better transportation, etc. Now let us understand certain features of a developing economy. Which countries are known as developing economies as against developed economies? So India is a developing economy. It is not developed country like America or European countries. Economy of developed and developing countries is separated on the basis of per capita income. As per World Development Report of 2004 of World Bank, countries having income less than $735 are categorized as developing economies. Here are some features of developing economy. Feature number 1, less per capita income. National income of developing countries is less, while population growth rate is high. So per capita income remains low. Because of less per capita income, living standard of people is low. So in this point, we are told that the national income or the income of the country is less. As against it, the population growth rate is high. That is point number 2, but it is clubbed here. So if we have to find the per capita income, what we have to do is we have to place the national income in the numerator, and in the denominator we put the population, the number of people in that country, and dividing the population with the national income, the amount that we get is low. So in a developing economy, in a developing country, this per capita income is really low, and because the national income is less, per capita income is low, the nation is not able to give proper living standard or high living standard to its population. Point number 2 was included in point number 1 only, but we will read it. Population growth. Population growth rate is high in developing nations. Rate of population growth is 2% or more every year. So what happens here is that the population growth is much high. Every year so many citizens are added to the population. Population growth rate is high. What happens because of this is that the nation is not able to give proper living standards to the citizens because the national income is low, and every year more and more people join the population. So this way the developing nations, they have a very low growth rate. Point number 3, dependence on agriculture. Main occupation of the people of developing countries is agriculture. More than 60% of people, that is population, is dependent on agriculture for their employment. So we know that the countries which are still developing do not have a secondary sector, that is industrial sector and even service sector. They are poor. Most people are dependent on agriculture or the primary sector. Their main source of earning is agriculture. So here it is written that more than 60% of population is dependent on agriculture, okay, for their earning. Contribution of agriculture in national income of these nations is about 26%. So here we see that the primary activity, that is agriculture, is the prime source of income for most people. Point number 4, unequal distribution of income. Unequal distribution of income and factors of production is seen in developing countries. This inequality is seen in cities as well as villages. 20% of rich people of the country share 40% of the national income, and the poorest 20% people share just 10% of national income. This concentration of income and property is seen in the hands of rich people in developing economies. So what do we mean by this? Here we see that there is a big gap between the rich people and the poor people. The rich people who are less in number have majority share in the national income, while at the base, the base is very broad. There are many poor people and they have less share of national income. So there is a big divide, big gap between the rich people and the poor people. The concentration of income and property is seen more in the hands of rich people than the poor people. So here point number 4, unequal distribution of income. Point number 5, unemployment. Unemployment may be counted as an important feature of developing countries. In these countries, ratio of unemployment is more than 3% of the total labor. In these countries, different types of unemployment may be seen. For example, seasonal unemployment, disguised unemployment, industrial unemployment. Moreover, even the period of unemployment is very long. So one big economic problem in developing nations is unemployment. Young people do not get jobs, and because they do not get jobs, they cannot improve their living standard. The country also is not able to provide them with employment, and so there is a wastage of young labor. There is a wastage of the skill of young people. And there are various types of unemployment. We are going to read in detail these various types of unemployment in one more chapter of economics later on. So unemployment is a big economic challenge for developing countries. Point number 6, poverty. This is one more economic problem of developing country. Poverty is a major feature of developing economy. People who are not able to satisfy their primary necessities like food, clothing, shelter, economic, education, health, they are called poor. And in developing countries, such people constitute 1/3 of the total population. So we have seen that the national income is very low, and the nation is not able to provide with employment to the people, and therefore we see poverty. There are poverty-stricken families, poverty-stricken people. A large chunk of the population is not able to manage their basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. So poverty is yet another important feature which has to be tackled by the developing countries. Point number 7, dual economy. The economy of a developing country is based on dual or mixed system. On one side, backward farming, old machinery used in farming, orthodox social structure, less production are seen in villages. And on other hand, there are the cities having modern industries, new production, new process, modern implements, modern sophisticated lifestyle. So what happens here? In a developing country, it is not the case that we see all people are poor. No. As we have seen in point number 4, there is an unequal distribution of income. What do you mean by this? In the developing countries, we will see poor people and we will see the rich people also. And we have noted that there is a big gap between the rich and the poor people. So here what will happen? You will find that there are extremely rich people. They have modern lifestyle, and we have modern industries, we have new methods of production, we have modern implements, we have sophisticated lifestyle. All these things we can see in the cities and the metro cities. But in the same country, we will also find farmers living in poverty, using the backward methods of farming, age old methods of farming, using their plows, old machineries, and having orthodox social structure. So dual means this: there is a duality. You will find rich people, extremely rich people on one side, and you will also find poor people. We will find modern methods, modern ways, modern lifestyle on one hand, and we will also see orthodox structure, old machineries, backward style of farming. Point number 8: insufficient infrastructural facilities. Crucially, vital infrastructural facilities like education, transportation, communication, electricity, health facilities, banking, etc., they are less. All these facilities are lacking. There is a lack of all these facilities in developing countries, and because there is lack of these facilities, or they have a very poor level of facilities, the development of the nation gets a hindrance. The infrastructural facilities which are very much needed for the progress of the country, for the development of the country, is missing there. We don't have proper transportation system, the roads are bad, the health facilities are not up to the mark, the electricity facilities are not available properly, the banking facilities are poor, the education facilities are not so good. So in a developing economy, all these facilities which are very much required to improve the condition of the country is absent or are poor in standard. So point number 8 is insufficient infrastructure facilities. Point number 9: form of international trade. The structure of foreign trade of developing countries is different. These countries mainly export agro products and farm products as well as mineral ores. These types of products have less demand and low rate in the international market. So less income is gained by exporting these goods. So what happens here is, since the agricultural production or the primary sector activities are more here, this country is able to export only those things, and these things which are produced in the primary sector, for example agricultural products, they have a very less value in the international market, and because they have less value in the international market, the earning of such countries is also very low. So the international trade does not give enough national income to such countries. So even if they are earning very low. So all these were the features of developing economy or developing countries. Acha, what are the imports that such countries have for their country? Such countries import industrial products, machineries. As the cost of these products is more, so the expense on import rises. So by export they earn less, but by imports they have to pay a very heavy price. So there is an imbalance. There is not a favorable trade happening here. The country is earning very less by exporting, and they are giving much when they are importing things from the foreign countries. Thus, as the condition of foreign trade is adverse, there is an increase in foreign debt. The developing countries, they have foreign debt. They have to borrow money from other countries, so they are always in debt. Thus we see the above mentioned features in developing countries. As Indian economy is developing, all these features are related to India in greater or lesser measure. So if we see all these 9 points, we will find these points related to India, because India is still a developing country. So these features are found in more or less proportion in India also. And you will find these features in any developing country today. That was all for today's video lesson. As homework, I want you to write down the difference between economic growth and economic development, and also list down the features of a developing economy. That was all for this session. We end here. Bye. May God bless you and may peace be with you.